Hello guys, and welcome back to another video about Java tutorials. Today we're going to be going over integers. One thing that I should have mentioned in the last video is one of my reasons for actually starting this tutorial series, and that is Alex Lee. Alex Lee was a great tutorial creator, however he did have some flaws in the fact that he didn't quite know the full reasons to some of the syntax himself. But overall, he is what made me start Java, and that, I think, is awesome. Um, and while I did wind up learning more about the intermediate parts of Java, without his tutorials, he really gave me that boost to actually learning Java in the beginning. And yeah, that's it. So, let's start on with the tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about integers. And oh yeah, Alex Lee, he stopped making videos about Java, which is why I'm now doing this tutorial series. So it's also updated because he did leave out a few things in his previous tutorials, such as the static keyword. He didn't he didn't really explain what the static keyword meant. So anyways, yeah. Um, so starting off where we were before, when we run it, we print out hello world, right? Now, let's just delete this line. String name equals hello world. And you'll see that name in all of these system.out.print statements become red. Why is that? Well, it can't, if you hover your mouse over it, over the red text, it'll say cannot resolve symbol name. That is an error. If we try to run it, whoops, I pressed the wrong button. If we try to run it, you can see it says cannot find symbol. This is an error and it looks very, very scary. Not to worry though, because if you really look closely, it'll tell you the location and what exactly the problem is. Java cannot find symbol, variable name, location, where it is, the Java class, and what line it is, line 8. However, this is a tutorial for another day. A tutorial on how to solve errors. That's a tutorial for another day. So, anyways, let's start off with the integers. So, if you remember last episode, we created a string. We called that string name, and we set it equal to hello world, right? However, we want to create a new name, and sorry, not a new name, a new variable, and that variable is called an integer. An integer is just like an integer in math. It's a number. However, it cannot be a fraction. It cannot be a decimal. It's just a whole number. Yeah, an integer can just be any number as long as it's a whole number, and it can go below 0. So it could be -1, -2, but it can also be 1 and 2, but it can't be numbers such as 1.2345. Can't be decimals. Okay, so let's start off. So if you remember in the last video, we first start when creating a variable by stating what type of variable it is. In the last video, it was a string. In this tutorial, it's going to be an int. We set that int, and then now, after we typed out int, we're going to type out the name. Now, this integer is going to be a number, so I'm just going to name this integer variable number. And we're going to set that equal to 5. Now, you'll notice that I don't put the quotations around that. Quotations, when it comes to stuff like strings, it is very specific to strings. Like, you'll only be using it when you're referring to a string, or almost always. So that's why we don't need to put in the quotations. You can see all I had to put is int number equals to 5. And now we can type in number in here. Just copy and paste this. Now if we run it, you can see it says 55555. And if we run it again, it'll say the same thing. Now, instead of doing this, what we could do is just type out 55555. It'll print out 5 just like that. However, let's just say we want to store it in a variable, in which case we just type in number. Okay. And that is all for integers. Integers, the only rules for them are they store a whole number. That whole number cannot be a decimal. It cannot be a decimal. It can go below 0. It can be a negative number. It can be a positive number. It just can't be a decimal. And you don't use quotation marks around them. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Hope to see you soon. Goodbye.